A very warm welcome to everybody present. Let me just go through a quick series of check. Mic check, video check, internet check. Looks like everything's working fine. Sanitizer check. Phew, it's 2020 with corona. Okay, but wait. Did I miss something? Mental health check. Okay. Wake up, stress, panic, repeat. It's not surprising that most of us these days find ourselves stuck in this vicious loop so much that we find this is to be the new routine. But this is not true. Keeping this in mind, WIE chapter IEEE of our campus is in association with Ekam presenting a mental health talk with Preetiji, the founder of Ekam herself. Shri Preetiji has led millions of people worldwide on a profound journey into consciousness, led by the belief that every day spent in suffering is a waste of day, and a day lived in beautiful state is truly lived. Preetiji has helped many to heal and seek prosperous and joy in their lives. Can we just have a small video about Preetiji?
Sri Preeta Ji and Sri Krishna Ji are spiritual leaders, mystics, and philosophers of our time. They have co-created Ekam, a mystic powerhouse located in the state of Andhra Pradesh, India. Sri Preeta Ji and Sri Krishna Ji have over 2,000 trained volunteers who lead their events all over the world. Millions of seekers are drawn to them in quest of greater purpose, peace, and awakening. World-renowned leaders come to Ekam to learn from them and to meditate in their presence. At a tender age of 11, Sri Krishna Ji had his first experience of enlightenment and God realization. Ever since then, when people meditate with him, they experience a healing of long-held wounds, their anxiety dissolves, and they move into higher states of consciousness. Sri Preeta Ji's presence spontaneously opens the hearts of seekers to love and compassion beyond measure. To listen and to learn from her is a blessing of several lifetimes. Together with their daughter Loka, Krishna Ji and Preeta Ji run two massive charities: World Youth Changemakers, a foundation that offers free transformational education in schools and colleges in India and across the world, and One Humanity Care, a foundation which supports and improves the lives of the people in 1,000 villages around Ekam.
We have Annapurna Ma'am, our HOD and IEEE coordinator of PS University EC campus. Would you please welcome Preeta Ji, Ma'am?
Thank you, Mukti. I would like to welcome Madam Preeta Ji, ma'am. Thank you so much, and thank you for accepting our invitation. Really, it's fortunate for all of us to be here. Thanks for the day. Really, it's wonderful. Kalpana 2020, and you're known for transformational as a transformational leader. It's really wonderful. We are all blessed. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Namaste.
Yeah.
Welcome, Preeta Ji.
Thank you. It is a joy to be with every one of you, the young people of PSU and the EEE this evening. Can you hear me very well? Thank you, Annapurna ji, for the warm welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mukti Prada, for that loving welcome. I appreciate your sense of responsibility and concern for the young people in organizing this evening on mental health.
Thank you.
In my travels to various universities across the world, I've met three kinds of students or people. The first are those who enter these universities, especially the competitive ones. They enter with a great drive, but then they lose the drive along the way. These people lost their vision. They are unable to find a purpose for why exactly they are in this magnificent institutions of education. The second category of young people are those who are still driven. And unfortunately, they are like ruthless machines competing to land on those opportunities that gives them the highest money and probably even the biggest positions in the market. The third section of the youth are passionate, they are driven, and they are sensitive. They not only pursue success, they're not only in pursuit of success, but they are also in the pursuit of inner well-being. They're not only bothered about IQ, their intellectual quotient, but they're also concerned about their HQ, if you want to call it as the happiness quotient. So I want to ask every one of you who are listening to me this evening, where are you right now? It'll be great if you can answer me on the chat. I can see the chat. So the question is, where are you? Have you lost your vision? Have you become insensitive, aggressive, and ruthless, but emotionally still driving towards success like a machine? Or in the third space, you pursuing both success and happiness together? Could you please write your answers in the chat? I see a lot of greetings in the chat, but no answers yet. The first, okay, and the third. That'll be great if you're in the third. I have a very limited time with every one of you. And let us make these few minutes that we are together a very reflective journey. And let us begin with a smiling meditation. So please close your eyes. Bring your attention to your breath. Inhale and exhale deep and slow. Become conscious of the movement of your breath. Inhale now, and as you exhale, bring a gentle smile onto your face. Smile with your lips. Inhale. As you exhale, make your smile even broader. Smile with your lips and your cheeks. Let it be a very conscious smile. You're conscious of your smile. Inhale again. Let it be a deep breath. And as you're exhaling, smile with your lips, your cheeks, as well as your eyes. Breathe in and breathe out, slow and deep. Slowly open your eyes whenever you feel you're ready. Let us move on now. Anyone who is aspiring mental wellness must know this insight I'm going to share with you. And this insight, I would say, has been an epiphany for many leaders of the world. So this is the insight. At any given time, you are living only in one of the two states. So at any given time, you are either in a stressful state or you are in a beautiful state. There is no third state. At any given point of time, you are either in a suffering or a stressful state or a beautiful state. There is no third state. So what are the stressful states? They are emotional states that are unpleasant or are downright painful. And if you look at the beautiful states, they are states where you experience feeling pleasant, or it could be states where you're extremely delighted, or that makes you feel life is beautiful. Is there anyone who can give some examples of stressful states that you move in? You can put it on the chat box. Stressful states are states where there is an inner disturbance. It is a state where you feel very uncomfortable. It gives you a very unpleasant experience of life. So what are the stressful states you move into? There's only one answer there: fear, conflict, tension, fear, insecurity, inner disturbance, anger, frustration, anxiety, nervousness, unnecessary fears, pressure, confusion, grief, not able to concentrate, distraction, loneliness, irritation, unhappiness, inferiority. So you understand what a stressful state or a suffering state is. The experience of life is very uncomfortable. Don't you think so? Thank you. Now, let us look at what the beautiful states are. Can you give me examples of beautiful states you experience in life? Can you put it in the chat box? There's a lot of stressful states. I would like to see how you experience, what are the beautiful states you move into. I'm waiting for the beautiful states that you experience. You're still in stressful states. Happiness, calm, smile, joy, friendship, joy, love, passion, energy, calm, pleasant, connection, happiness, courage. So you understand very clearly the two states you experience in your life. And please know that there is no third state. One of the most important, thank you so much. One of the most important truths you need to know as young people is any stressful state or states after prolonged indulgence can lead to depression and mental health problems. Today, with the time that I have with you, I'm going to look at 4 important questions. The first one is, what is mental wellness? What is depression? Why depression? And what are the antidotes for depression? How do you know if you are mentally well? Firstly, if you are one who is mentally well, you can come out of any emotional disturbance, of any kind of stressful state very quickly. We teach practices to followers across the world to walk out of any disappointment in about 3 minutes. In fact, if you are in a perfect mental health, you would take less than 90 seconds. I don't have time to get into the evolutionary biology here since there is not enough time. But later, when we get to meet sometime, I will let you know about that. Secondly, if you are mentally well, you can be present. You can pay attention to what someone is saying. You are able to bring your presence to how the other is actually feeling. If you are mentally and emotionally absent much of the time, then you are unwell. Do you know that there is a lot of statistics to show that many young people's attention is less than that of a goldfish? It is less than the attention of a goldfish, which is less than 9 seconds. Thirdly, if you are mentally and emotionally well, if you can be at peace with your appearance, at peace with your stature, at peace with your choices. And such a person is easy in their relationship with others too. If you are fighting with yourself internally, for sure you will be ill at ease with others. And then you are unwell. Lastly, you are mentally well if you could be driven by a purpose that includes your own well-being and the well-being of others. A selfish mind that does not care for the well-being of others, a mind that has no purpose, I would say, is an unwell mind. So let us look at the second question. What is depression? Before you say that depression is not my problem, or you say depression is not the problem of anyone in my family, I want you to listen me out fully. Today, estimates are that nearly 300 million people are depressed worldwide. That is a huge population. Imagine the population of the United States itself is 350 million. These are statistics, but the fact is that millions or more don't even know that they're depressed, or they are ashamed of accepting that they're depressed, or they're terrified of knowing that they're depressed. So let me explain what depression is, first of all. Everyone goes through emotional upsets. Everyone goes through periods of deep disappointment. They go through experiences of sadness, especially when you feel life has failed you. That I won't say is depression. That is not depression. They are just some bad days. The first sign of depression is when these unpleasant emotions, they become persistent moods that keeps invading you for days and weeks. At this point, I would say you need to bring serious attention. This may be what the world calls depression, which means your emotional state, your experience, is affecting your neural chemistry. It is affecting your neurophysiology in the ways that your brain is not returning to a state of health quickly. The second sign could be a continuous dullness, an experience of disinterest, no energy, and no initiative. The third sign could be an unexplainable, crazy excitement, alternating with feeling terribly feeling low. It's alternating between excitement and feeling low. The fourth sign could be a very painful sense of meaninglessness. Whether you are an achiever or a failure, whether you are in a relationship or alone, everything in life suddenly loses delight. It is like as if the world of colors has suddenly become gray. Should you be ashamed if you're experiencing such a mind state? Not at all. I want you to know this, that every human being goes through at least one bout of depression in their lifetime. Some get stuck in this phase for a few days. Some get stuck for a few weeks. And sadly, for a few years. We don't want you to emerge out of depression with some kind of socially manageable dullness, or even worse would be to be stuck in it. I want to let you know that millions rise out of the depths of depression every day. And it is possible for you, it is possible for your loved ones to emerge from depression unscathed. Let us look at our second question. Why depression? Have you thought about it? Or you just got into it and you are stuck in it? Depression begins as a habit of engaging in stressful states. A propensity for depression can begin right at birth itself. If a child is rejected right at birth, or if a child or the baby is not held lovingly at birth, the stress chemicals continue to flood the system for a long time. There is a possibility that the systems get prone to depression. Depression could also begin as anger, as sadness, as loneliness, as a longing for love, either as a child or in your later years. It could begin in a traumatic experience. But the problem is, neither our education, nor our religion, nor our families actually teach us how to walk out of these painful states, these emotionally painful states. And unfortunately, there is no value attached to mental health. And all that the society is bothered about is the external, only your achievements. Living in these same states of stress, your neurons actually get addicted to those stress chemicals. Are you able to see that they are hungry? Your neurons are hungry for those stress chemicals. Habits from the mind level actually move on to the brain, your physical brain. If only you're able to break free of those stressful emotions as and when they arise, not allowing it to linger in you, you can prevent the arising of depression itself. At the end of today's interaction, I will teach you a very powerful 3-minute meditation, a practice that you can use to break free of stressful emotions whenever they may arise, whatever they may be. Let us move on to the last question. How do we prevent depression? I'm sure you're all looking forward for this answer. If you want to prevent depression from arising, either in yourself or in a loved one or in a colleague, there are 4 yuktis you should follow. Yuktis are spiritual practices. These yuktis have an incredible amount of neuroscience as their basis. It is deep spiritual wisdom. I want you to listen me out to the end, because depression does not consider age, it does not consider class, it does not consider gender. It can affect a child as easily as it can affect a teenager or an elderly person. It can affect a man as well as a woman. It can affect an affluent as well as not so affluent. So let us get into it. So somebody is asking the question, how to treat depression. So these are the 4 yuktis that I want you to follow. The first of the yuktis is kathanam, or storytelling. So let me explain this. For thousands of years, we humans have sat around fire in the evenings. We have sat together as a tribe. We've eaten food. And we have narrated stories to each other of all that has happened to us on that day. It could be the animal that we chased, or a new fruit that we discovered then, or a new friend that you made. And we did that until the fire died out and we kept gazing at the stars. It is in this storytelling we found a deep sense of belonging, a deep sense of knowing of each other. Unfortunately, this connection is lost to us because we eat alone, or we keep texting even as we eat. We either text or we watch television as we eat. I would say leave your cell phones in another room. And if you can sit together and eat together as often as you can with your family, and engage in storytelling of what happened to you that day or that week. And if you're able to listen to each other and laugh together, what you would experience is a deep sense of belonging. And this belonging will stem loneliness. Loneliness, I want you to understand, is a precursor to depression. And with this experience of belonging, you would be able to stem loneliness away. Is it an easy yukti to practice? To leave your cell phones away in another room? To be together with your family members? To share the happenings of the day or the week? Will you be able to do that? Because what you need is a sense of belonging. And you'll be able to experience that sense of belonging when you do practice this yukti. The second of the yuktis to prevent depression is loving touch, or sneha sparshanam. Of course, this yukti is to be followed in intimate relationship between couples, between parents and children, grandparents and grandchildren, and friends. Do you know that it is scientifically proven today? It is beyond doubt that a gentle hug or a cuddle lasting for more than 20 seconds actually releases oxytocin in your brains. Oxytocin is a neuropeptide that that brings about bonding. Neuropeptide that is released in your brain when you're able to hold somebody for 20 seconds. A gentle and loving physical touch with an added intention of wanting the other to be happy, can actually heal the other. Healing love flows from you to the other. When you are in a beautiful state of love, and when you hold a heartfelt intention for the well-being of the other, your body emanates healing influence on the other. I would say make a gentle hug, a gentle practice of hugging with your loved ones. This is the second yukti. I think it is an easy yukti to practice. The third yukti is swiya sakyata, or a friendship with oneself. I would say most people are strangers to themselves. They do not know what they are feeling until it becomes a full-blown depression. Friendship with oneself, I would say, is a simple spiritual hack you can practice that will for sure keep depression at bay. This is a yukti everyone has to follow for themselves. And how do we go about it? Every time you feel the slightest dullness or every time you experience an inner disturbance, take a deep inhalation and an even slower exhalation. Observe the exact emotion that is arising within you. Recognizing its name like you would recognize, say, a guest who is entering your home and say, anger. I recognize you have come. You're not going to treat it like an enemy, but you're just going to recognize as, say, a friend who's entering home. Dullness, you're come here again. Or anxiety, I recognize you've come. And then smile and say to your anger, I am friends with you. Or smile at your anxiety and say, I am friends with you. This simple act will shift your neurobiological activity from the destructive regions of your brain to areas of calm, to areas of clear thinking. It is incredibly powerful if you are at peace with yourself. The fourth yukti is Ashtachala, or being with the sun. Either around sunrise or sunset, I would say be out in the sun. Listen to the birds, the insects. Take in the sunlight. Allow the sunlight to fall on you. See the changing colors in the sky for at least 10 minutes. I'm not asking you for long. Just for 10 minutes. Being in the early morning light with nature will actually activate your heart neurons and make you into a more joyful being. I want you all to remember that the biggest pandemic the world is yet to see is depression. At the root of depression is loneliness and a feeling of disconnection. And these four yuktis would actually serve as your Lakshman Rekhas, or powerful stoppers for depression, not allowing depression to flow into you or your loved ones, and your family. Try them out. Let us I'm here to take a few questions before we move into doing a meditation together.
Thank you, Priteji. Your speech was really illuminating and inspiring. We have few questions from our participants. So the first question is how to deal with procrastination. Why do we procrastinate even though it is an important work to do?
How hard have you tried to fight with your procrastination? Most people assume that procrastination is because of laziness. But what you need to know is you are lazy in the first place because you are in fear. Whenever you are in fear, what happens is you imagine the future and your mind actually sees a negative image. And when you see a negative image, there is no energy. There is no energy generated by your brain to accomplish the task. So you postpone, you procrastinate. If you all the time try to address your problem of procrastination or postponement, if without addressing your fear, I would say you would be like the person who's lost his key in the playground but is searching for it in his home because there was light in his home and it was dark outside in the playground. So you want to conquer your procrastination, you need to conquer your fear-driven mind. The next question.
The next question is how to control anxiety in terms of expectations from others. How to practice being calm in different situations.
Anxiety is a word that is being used a lot these days. So what is anxiety? Anxiety is the brain projecting the possibility in the future, a possibility that is painful, a possibility which can lead you to shame or that can lead you to loss. Let us address this one particular anxiety, a specific anxiety, anxiety of what others are thinking about you. In Athens, in ancient Greece, a man came to a very well-known master and then he asked to be accepted as a disciple. The master was a stoic, one who does not get disturbed. He does not get disturbed by life's pleasures or pains. So he tells the man, I will accept you as a disciple provided you pass the test I'm going to give you. So he hands over to that man a pot full of lentil soup. It was just lentil soup, and asks him to take it to the middle of the town square. So this man is very embarrassed because as he takes the lentil soup, the pot full of lentil soup, and walks to the middle of the town square, people begin to ask him. So they're asking, what are you carrying? And he tries to evade the answer because it sounds so silly to be carrying a pot full of lentil soup. And he felt very uncomfortable sharing it to others. And he stood there in the middle of the town square. Then the master comes along with a stick in his hand and hits the pot of lentil soup. And the pot breaks and the soup spills. All the intellectuals in the town square actually start laughing at this man. And this man runs away in shame. The master calls out saying, hey, wait. The master says, there is no real shame in carrying the lentil soup or spilling it. Come to me and become a disciple. When you stop bothering about what other people's views are, then I will accept you. One of the obsessions of the human mind is to constantly be bothered about what others are thinking about you. It is to constantly imagine what others are thinking about you. And if only you can conquer this obsession, living would be effortless. But this definitely does not mean that you will be indifferent or insensitive to others' feelings. As a caring human being, you will care for others' pains, others' joys, and you would care to make other people's life beautiful. But as a wise being, you will not be bothered about their judgments. The next question.
This is one of the most frequently asked questions. How to improve focus and stay calm?
How do we improve focus and stay calm? If you look at the civilization itself, what do you think is the problem with the civilization? The fact is, every one of you is bombarded by incredible amount of stimulus. Never before in human history have human beings been as challenged as this. Your attention is continuously lost in so many distractions, and you have millions of things to be distracted. In children, we see it as an attention deficit disorder. And it is easy to spot because learning becomes difficult, and in school you don't perform. In adults, it is an inability to focus. It's an inability to remain centered. It is a real problem. To combat this global problem, I would suggest every young person must adopt meditation as a way of living. And this will help you stay focused. So there are meditations which are concentration-based meditation, and I would recommend those who are feeling distracted to straight away get onto that practice. Whenever you want attention, you have to shift your brain beats. It has to shift from beta to alpha. Just like how the heart beats in cycles per minute, your brain also pulses in cycles per second. When your brain is in beta brainwave state, it is pulsing between 14 to 40 cycles per second. And in this state, your brain is more like a monkey, unable to pay any attention to whatever, either to a book or to an activity. It is jumping all over from one thing to another. In alpha state, in alpha brainwave state, your brain wave frequency is between 13 and 8 cycles per second. Your attention becomes steady, intense. Your hippocampus, which is responsible for memory, becomes active, helping you with great retention of whatever you're learning. There are other brain states too, which are not relevant in our context today. Let us move on to the next. Do you want to listen to the practice that you can do when you feel distracted?
Yes, yes, Preetaji, can you please teach us the 3-minute meditation practice you promised us to?
Are we done with time? There are two practices. One is if you're distracted and you want to concentrate, there's a practice. The other is a practice whenever you move into a stressful state, you want to get out of stressful state, because please understand your suffering state, whether it is of loneliness, insecurity, are reasons why you would be led to depression. So how much time do we have?
I guess we have like 15 to 20 more minutes.
Okay, fine. So I will just do this first practice, which anybody can do. It is It has only 3 steps. I want you to remember these 3 steps. I want you to sit still, and you would be sitting still with your eyes fixed onto one point on the desk in front of you, or on a wall in front of you, or on the floor in front of you. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Make sure that you are having your mouth closed as you're breathing only through your nose. Now clearly imagine or feel as if there is radiance around your brain. Say to yourself, I am in a state of total attention. You can do this practice whenever you feel you need to bring your attention onto something. And every time you feel distracted, every time you feel that you're spending a lot of time with your books and nothing really is entering you, and you're not being efficient, you're not being productive, I would say do this practice. And your brain will be in a state of alpha, I would say, for over an hour, for a period of an hour or more after this practice. Yes, Mukti Prada, do you have more questions?
Yeah, like there's one question. The person says sometimes due to many circumstances we need to take up the career even if we are not passionate about it. But there's a need to choose that career. How can we manage to build interest and passion towards that career?
This is probably the question that so many of them are asking. The truth is, all situations in life at all times will not be favorable to you. And sometimes you will have to make a compromise. You will have to take up a job that you do not like. But let that not be the end of the road. You should continue your inner exploration courageously. and discover what is it that you truly love to do in life. And let us not stop with knowing what you love to do. Build a passion in your heart to use what you love to do to create a difference in the world, to make this world a better place. If you are able to keep this passion alive, where you're going to create a difference to the world around you, it could be creating a difference to us, to a forest, or it could be even creating a difference to a small garden. But if you are able to keep this passion alive, burning within you, what we have seen is the universe, which is not a which is a field of consciousness, where we are not actually separate from the universe would give you opportunities, and you will be able to fulfill your heart's passion. You will be able to get on to the career path you love. So do not stop yourself from exploring what you truly love to do. Explore. And then do not stop with just finding out what you truly love to do, but actually see your heartfelt passion, see that impacting the lives of people around you, or it could be humans, it could be animals, or it could be earth. If you're able to see your passion actually impact something in this world, please know help is going to come to you. Please know that this universe, this living universe, is going to respond to you. Next. I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
That was one of the last question, Preeti. Thank you so much.
So I will lead everyone through a practice, a simple 3-minute practice, which I promised in the beginning. It is the serene mind practice. The serene mind practice is a powerful meditation. It is a powerful meditation for dissolving stress and returning to calm. The serene mind practice actually changes the way your brain is connected. So if you are used to living in places of insecurity and loneliness, you need to break it. The serene mind is built on a powerful insight into the nature of the mind and the brain. It is built on the principle of non-resistance to the inner experience, the non-resistance to the inner experience as a way to calm, inner calm. This practice is not about shifting conveniently from that unpleasant state to pleasant states. It is actually eroding one's tendency to move into stress frequently. I'm sure as young people, and with the current state the world is in, you're probably moving into incredible amount of stress and anxiety about your future. I would recommend every one of you to practice this simple 3-minute meditation. It is not long, but please know that this has the ability to change the way your brain is structured. It changes how your brain is wired. I want you to practice in moments of conflict. I want you to practice in moments of confusion. It'll lead you into clarity. I gave you a very vast description on depression and how it is the pandemic, what causes depression, and the yuktis you need to follow to get or root out depression out of your system. I would say the most important practice that you need to hold on to very tightly is the serene mind practice. It breaks emotional addictions. It will take you to a space of a greater quiet, where you would experience insight into life's challenges, and those insights will lead you to freedom. It takes only 3 minutes, and I'm sure I'm going to have all your attention the next 3 minutes. Please close your eyes. Be seated in a comfortable position. Sit still like a rock. With your hands on your thighs, palms facing upwards. Take 3 deep breaths with total attention. Inhale fully and deeply. Exhale slowly and completely. Do this for 3 cycles of breath. Now observe your inner state. Observe until you discover the exact emotion you are feeling. Continue to breathe deeply and watch your feelings until you are able to recognize and name the emotion you're experiencing. Observe the direction of the flow of your thinking. As this emotion is arising within you, are you obsessing over the past? Are you projecting a chaotic future? Or are you in the present? Imagine a tiny flame at the center of your eyebrows and see it move inward into the middle of your brain. Envision this flame floating in the middle of your brain. Let there be peace in your heart. Let there be peace in the hearts of your loved ones. Let there be peace in the world around you. Bring a smile onto your face, and you may open your eyes whenever you're ready. I can't hear you again.
Thank you, Preetaji. It was an honor to have you. And thank you for sparing your valuable time with us in between the so much busy schedule you have. Thank you so much. And these are not just mere words. Me being a part of this organization have learned a lot, experienced a lot. So I'm truly grateful to you and Krishnaji. Thank you so much, Preetaji. Thank you so much, Krishnaji.
I'm very happy to have been over here. The truth is, you are going to lead the future, every one of you. And it is very important that you are leading your lives from a beautiful state, because that becomes your experience of life. And I have a young daughter, and I know how important it is to feel good within oneself and experience the joy, because only then you would be able to spread the joy. You will be able to lead so many people into a space of joy and happiness. So, all the best to every one of you, and very happy to have been here and would love to see more.
Thank you, Preetaji.
Namaste.